Fallon. Today is Friday, and I am so glad you're here with us on Good Morning Muscles. Remember, Good Morning Muscles is your daily kickstart. Well, it's going to be an outstanding day. It's uploaded every single day on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page by 6 a.m. As soon as you wake up, find Good Morning Muscles, do it, have fun, get stronger, and kickstart your day in the best way possible. All right, we have a lot of work to do. Let's get to the fun. All right, let's get warmed up, and on Fridays, we do shout box warm-ups. Today, we're going to do a referee shout box warm-up. We're going to do 4 different referee movements. A referee is somebody in the game that watches everybody and makes sure everyone's playing by the rules and points out if somebody scores or not. For our shout box warm-up, remember, you're going to hear number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anytime you hear one of those numbers, we're going to do a different referee movement. Say, if you hear a number 1, we're going to do this referee movement. Do you know which referee would do this? This would be traveling in basketball. So anytime you hear a number 1, we're going to do a travel referee, just like this. When you hear a number 2, we're going to do a travel. And then safe. You would do safe if you're a referee in baseball. And if you hear a number, let's do a number 2 again. If you hear a number 2, we're going to travel and safe. If you hear a number 3, we're going to do travel. Safe. Touchdown. Who would do this? This would be a touchdown. A football referee would do that. So if you hear a number 3, it's going to be travel. Safe. Touchdown. And finally, if you hear a number 4, we're going to do travel. Safe. Touchdown. And you're out. That's how an umpire would say strike 3, you're out in baseball. You're out. So we're going to do 2 jumps forward and bring our arm back. You're out. All right, so if you hear number 3, it's going to be travel. Safe. Touchdown. You're out. All right, are you ready? Here we go. This is going to be fun.
1.
Travel.
2.
Travel. Safe.
2.
Travel. Safe.
1.
Travel.
2.
Travel. Safe.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown. Travel. Safe. Touchdown. You're out.
1.
Travel. Travel. Safe. Touchdown. You're out.
2.
Travel. Safe.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
1.
Travel.
2.
Travel. Safe.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
2.
Travel. And you're safe.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
1.
Travel.
2.
Travel. Safe.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
3.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown.
1.
Travel.
4.
Travel. Safe. Touchdown! You're out of there! Travel. Stay. Touchdown! Travel. Travel. Stay. Touchdown! You're out of there! Travel. Stay. Touchdown! Travel. And you're safe. Travel. Safe. Touchdown. You're out of there. Travel. And safe. Travel. 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 Safe. Touchdown. Travel. 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 Safe. Touchdown. Travel. Boys and girls, nice warm up. All right, what did the traffic light say to the car? Don't look at me, I'm changing. All right, it's now time for top 3. And today's top 3, we're going to talk about flavors of ice cream. Mr. Fallen's going to talk about his top 3. You're going to put your top 3 favorite ice creams in the comments below. All right, starting off with number 3. It's Neapolitan. Number 2, Rocky Road. And number 1, it's half and half. Put your top 3 in the comments below. Alright, get up, get spot running. It's time for Chapter 19 of Wayside School's Falling Down Forever as Never. Allison was still stuck on the 19th story. 14 2-minute breaks had passed. It's dictionary time, said Mrs. Arvis. Everybody got out a dictionary. Allison found a dictionary in her desk, too. What are we supposed to do with it, she asked. Memorize it, said Nick. But that's impossible, said Allison. No, it's easy, Virginia assured her. You memorize one word at a time until you get a whole page. Then you turn to the next page. How many words have you memorized, asked Allison. I'm almost finished with the bees, Virginia said proudly. And I've only been doing it for 32 years. Allison opened her dictionary. Mrs. Jewell's class, she suddenly remembered. She sighed for relief. For the last 6 days, she'd been trying to remember where she came from. In her mind, she went through everybody in her former class. She didn't want to forget again. As she thought about each person, tears filled her eyes. She missed them very much, even Jason. They were all so wonderful in their own special way. When the 2-minute break came, she talked to Mark again. He was the only person in the class who still seemed to have a brain. How did we get here, she asked. Maybe we're dead, said Mark. Maybe we died and went to. This isn't heaven, said Allison. That wasn't what I was going to say, said Mark. Allison felt a chill run up her spine. She looked at Mrs. Arvis. Mrs. Arvis smiled back at her. But she seemed so nice, said Allison. Could someone as nice as her really be the devil? I don't know, said Mark. She always gives good grades. What would happen if we didn't do our work, asked Allison. We have to do our work, said Mark. Why, asked Allison. What's Mrs. Arvis going to do? Keep us after school? I don't know, said Mark. Teachers can always find new ways to punish you. They're experts at it. Your 2 minutes are up, boys and girls, announced Mrs. Arvis. I'm going back to work. Allison returned to her seat. She tried to figure it all out, but she had so much busy work to do, she didn't have time to think. That's her plan, Allison suddenly realized. She shivered as it all came together for her. Mrs. Jarvis assigns us lots of busy work so we don't have time to think. She makes us memorize silly things so we don't think about the important things. And then she gives us good grades to keep us happy. Mrs. Jarvis walked around the room. Very good, Virginia, she said. You're doing so well. Excellent, Ray. Good job, Nick. She stopped when she got to Allison. Allison, why aren't you working? Allison looked at her. She knew Mark was right. Teachers are experts at finding ways to punish you. And if Mrs. Jarvis was the devil, who knew what she might have up her sleeve? Still, Allison had to take a chance. If she wanted to get back to Mrs. Jewell's class, she had to act as if she were in Mrs. Jewell's class. She took off her shoes and socks, sat on the floor, and sucked on her toes. Allison, what are you doing? Asked Mrs. Jarvis. Allison took her toe out of her mouth. Get off my case, buzzard face, she said. Mrs. Jarvis was furious. Return to your desk, young lady, she ordered. Allison returned to her desk, but instead of sitting at it, she climbed on top of it and sang a song. I got one sock, looking for the other. One sock, looking for its brother. When I find that sock, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it on my foot and I'll stick it in my shoe. Mark Miller smiled at her and silently clapped his hands. Everyone else looked at her like she was crazy. Your socks are on the floor next to your shoe, Miss Jarvis said coldly. I'll give you 10 seconds to put them on your feet. 10, 9, 8, 7. Allison climbed down from her desk. She picked up her socks and put them on her ears. How's this? She asked. 6, 5, 4. Albert Einstein didn't wear socks, said Allison. Why should I? 3, 2. Allison closed her eyes. 1. She felt something slam down on her foot. Something else jammed into her stomach. Ugh! She grunted as she fell and rolled down 3 steps. Are you all right? Asked Dee Dee. Huh? Said Allison. She was on the stairs somewhere between the 18th and 20th stories. Sorry, said Ron. I didn't see you. Dee Dee and I were racing up the stairs, and then you suddenly appeared. You knocked off your shoes and socks, exclaimed Dee Dee. Oh, I ripped your windbreaker, too, said Ron. I'm sorry. That's okay, said Allison. She picked up her shoes and socks. Race you up the stairs. All 3 ran up to Mrs. Jewell's room. When they got there, they were so pooped they sat with their heads flat on their desks and their tongues hanging out. Hi, Allison, said Rondi. Allison raised her head. Hi, Rondi, she said. What did I miss while I was absent? When were you absent? Asked Rondi. Hey, how come you're not wearing your shoes and socks? Allison hung her socks from her ears. What do you think? She asked. It's the new look. Rondi laughed. Allison, said Mrs. Jewell, you seem to have a bad case of the sillies this morning. Allison giggled. Jason entered the room carrying a glass bowl with a goldfish swimming in it. Look what I brought, he said. What's the name of your goldfish? Asked Mrs. Jewell. Shark, said Jason. Everyone laughed. It makes him feel important, Jason explained. Where should I put him? How about on top of the coat closet, suggested Mrs. Jewell. Jason had to stand on the chair on his tippy toes. He held the bowl at the very bottom as he tried to nudge it over the edge of the closet. Allison turned around to watch. She didn't want to miss this. Boys and girls, our steps for today. Tomorrow on Saturday, we're reading 3 chapters, 20, 21, and 22. It's called Eric. Chapter 21 is called Eric. And chapter 22 is called Eric. Tune in tomorrow to find out what that's all about. So, boys and girls, on Sunday is a special day. It's Father's Day. And boys and girls, one of the things that I used to love to do with my father is go outside and play catch. And I would love to play catch mainly with the football. Sometimes we would do baseball. My dad would hit me grounders or pop flies. I'd catch it and throw it to him. And sometimes I would be able to hit some to him. So much fun. Boys and girls, go outside and do a sport with your father or somebody else at home. So You can't do it with your father. Do it with anybody else you have at home. Help you get stronger, and it'll help you have a lot of fun. Do it. Game time! Boys and girls, this week we're working on some soccer skills. Yesterday we worked on some soccer juggling. Mr. Fallon went outside. I practiced using a real soccer ball. Mr. Fallon was able to get up to 8 soccer juggles with a real soccer ball. Practiced a little bit more with this one. I thought it was really challenging with this. So if you missed yesterday's episode, go back, watch it again. It was a blast. Boys and girls, today we're going to finish up our soccer skills. Today we're doing some soccer shooting. And today we're going to learn 2 different types of soccer shots. And then I'm going to talk about a 3rd soccer shot that you can challenge yourself with this weekend with somebody at home. First, it's soccer. Mr. Fallon shouldn't be touching it with his hands. Mr. Fallon's going to be using his paper and tape ball today. That way we don't break anything. First thing that we want to talk about is that the difference between passing and shooting is that when you shoot, you want to shoot very hard as you can. If you were passing, you wouldn't want to pass as hard as you could because your teammate wouldn't be able to get it. Next, when I get ready to shoot, I'm going to take some steps back. Do you remember how many steps back? It's 3. 1, 2, 3. After I take 3 big steps back, I'm going to run up and I'm going to shoot it as hard as I can. And after I shoot it, Mr. Fallon's going to get his ball. I'm going to use my feet again, and I'm going to try again. How many steps back? 3. 1, 2, 3. Run up and shoot it as hard as I can. I'll get my ball using my feet, trap it, 3 big steps back, 1, 2, 3, run up and shoot it as hard as I can. Now, boys and girls, let's talk about our 2 different types of soccer shots. First, let's talk about our laces shot. For our laces shot, you want to shoot it with the top of your foot here, not with your toe. So when you shoot, you want to keep your toe pointed down so that you're shooting it with the top of your foot. Now, very important, when you do a laces shot, you want to put your plant foot, which is your foot that you're not shooting with, in front of your ball so you can keep your toe down and shoot it with your laces. So watch where Mr. Fallon does it. If Mr. Fallon's going to put this foot down and shoot with this foot's his plant foot. Put my plant foot in front of the ball, keep my toe down, and shoot it with my laces. Right? So I'm going to take 3 big steps back now. Run up, plant in front of the ball, keep my toe down, and shoot it with my laces. Get my ball back, trap it, 3 big steps back, 1, 2, 3. Plant in front of the ball, keep my toe down, shoot it with my laces as hard as I can. That is the laces shot. Now our second type of shot today is going to be our instep shot. Do our instep shot, and we're going to go through these pretty quick so that you have tons of time to practice them. Our instep shot, we're going to shoot with the inside of our foot here, much like we were passing, only we want to shoot it really hard. And actually, you want to shoot it with this part right here, where your big toe meets your foot. That's the hardest part of your foot. So when I take my 3 big steps back, I'm going to run up and shoot it as hard as I can with my instep. Go back, dribble back, 3 big steps back, run up, and do an instep shot. Now, boys and girls, that's me practicing my 2 types of shots inside. 3 big steps back, plant in front of the ball, toe down to do a laces shot, or turn my foot sideways and shoot it with my instep for the instep shot. Now, here's a challenge for you to try this weekend. Find somebody at home and have somebody pass you the ball. And then when they pass it to you, you're going to run up. Don't trap it. Instead, you're going to run up and do a laces shot or an instep shot. That's called a special type of soccer shot. Do you know what it's called? It's called a one-timer shot. So somebody passes it to you, and you're going to run up and shoot it with either a laces shot or an instep shot without trapping it first. If you can do that challenge, put your first name in the comments down below. I wonder if you're able to do it. Boys and girls, another week of Good Morning Muscle comes to a close. Boys and girls, what fun we had this week. What we have coming up tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday, we'll have an episode of Spot Run Storytime on Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be back here Monday morning at 6 a.m. with a brand new episode of Good Morning Muscles. If you're looking for things to do, look on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page. Tons and tons and tons of videos of different games that you can play. But boys and girls, remember, this weekend I think is Father's Day. Do something very nice for your father this weekend or for anybody that you have at home. Boys and girls, we'll see you on Monday. Muscles!
Ow,